What is up, dudes? Lady dudes! Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, we've got an OCG limit regulation for April 1st. So pretty much just another forbidden and limited ban list update for the OCG. Obviously, this does not directly affect us, but the OCG in a lot of ways can be construed as kind of like the future for the TCG, just because they do get their products earlier. So this could very well mean or give us a hint at what our future list could look like. No guarantees. I mean, we always have different lists, but there are some similarities that go along. So let's take a look. So the first thing is the only new banned card. They're only banning one card, and that is Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. And I think this comes to be too abusable in Guard Dragon, any kind of Guard Dragon variant, because this card is, I don't believe it's once per turn, I don't think it's a hard once per turn. So I think if you can keep cycling it, you can just keep plussing off of it over and over and over again, and that becomes too much of a problem in today's game. Not really too surprising. It's a really powerful card. We could see it in the future come to that, but we also don't have all the stuff I don't believe that Guard Dragons would make use of that the OCG has, but we'll see. Not super surprised about that one. We also see a couple of cards going to 1. We see Armageddon Knight going to 1, Speedroid Terratop going to 1, and Raigeki going to 1. So I believe Raigeki was already banned, so Raigeki just came off the list for them. Nothing crazy. I mean, we've had Raigeki at 1 forever now, and it has never really done anything. People would rather play Upstart Goblin than Raigeki in the TCG, so, you know, that kind of tells you where it's at. Speedroid Terratop, not super surprising. This is like an indirect hit to Salamangrates, hitting their consistency as, I guess. I don't even know if it hits the consistency. It just means like it's not worth playing the Speedroid engine anymore, so you probably take out those 3 slots from your deck. They just replace it with something else. I don't know exactly what would fit into that slot super well, but we'd seen for a while in like those random link spam decks in Burning Abyss. This card is just too strong. Like without even using your normal summon, you can make Cherubini off of 1 card, which is just too much. Terratop, not surprised about that. Armageddon Knight, Dark Warriors are still legit, so I'm not surprised to see Armageddon Knight go to 1 here. Gotta hinder them somehow. Pretty cool. For semi-limited cards, we see Dynamite Knight, the True Draco Fighter. I would love to see that because I don't feel like that breaks the deck wide open. I'm like, honestly, I feel like Dynamite Knight could almost be at 3 and it'd be fine. What does that do? Dynamite Knight being at 3. I mean, it makes a little bit more consistent, but the deck's already super consistent with the amount of draw power it can play. So that's not really a big problem, but I would like to see it because I think I don't think Dynamite Knight is so busted that it's crazy. I just think it's a good card, and I think it could be at 3. Like, the reason they hit him before is because they didn't want to hit Masterpiece, so they were like, what's the next best card to hit to kind of like limit their consistency and power? They were like, Dynamite Knight, I guess, so they did. But yeah, I think without Masterpiece is the card that should be banned, absolutely. I think we could easily see Dynamite Knight come back for sure. Totally awesome. Was it at 1? I think it was at 1 before, now it's at 2. That's really nice for Paleos because sometimes they need to grind through multiple Paleos, and sometimes they can just set up multiple Paleo boards throughout, longer duels. Hero Lives goes to 2. Was that at 1 before? A Hero Lives. I feel like that's a little dangerous. Card is insane. I mean, you pay half your life points, so if you get ashed, if you get hand trapped on it, it can be rough, but still, the ceiling for the card is insane. Any hero deck that resolves a Hero Lives, like, you're probably off to the races that duel. And then Limit Removal, I believe, was at 1 before. Now it's at 2. We just got it back at 3, and it's still... We saw what? That one deck profile on that one YCS of the guy who played it in Striker to help him, like, just attack with Kagari, like, directly. Or not Kagari, with, like, Hayate, I think. So like limit removal we've seen. I mean, I think maybe there are some decks that can abuse this. I mean, you think about like Train, Cyber Dragon, some other stuff that can really make this an OTK pusher, but there's so much disruption nowadays that like you can just keep them from, even if you can either like get rid of the monster that's using this or like just, I don't know, negate this itself. There's like so many different forms of disruption. It's not the biggest deal. Now, for probably the most influential card on this list, we see Fairy Tale Snow go to 3. Fairy Tale Snow, I believe, was previously banned completely, and now it goes to 3. That's pretty wild, because we just got Fairy Tale Snow banned as well, because Burning Abyss was abusing it, as well as Thunder Dragons, and it's just such an insanely powerful card. Probably the most influential card on this list for sure. We'll see where it goes from here. We also see Performage Damage Juggler. This is actually a really nice card. This is a card that I've heard people who play Light Sworns would love to see come off the list. Like when they got Snow banned and stuff, they wanted something else to come off to like maybe help with something else in the deck, like maybe just help the rest of the deck. So they wanted like another Damage Juggler just cause like that would be nice, but we didn't get it. I wouldn't be surprised if we got it now. We've been able to get this card at 3 for the longest time. We just haven't gotten it, so I feel like it'll come at some point. We also see Denglong go to 3. Denglong was already off the list in the OCG, so like when they saw he wasn't doing like that much, they were like, it's fine. Like the difference between whatever 1 or 2 or 3 is nothing. Like it doesn't change anything, so they might as well just put it at 3. Union Hanger back at 3. This is an interesting one because Union Hanger was like their consistency hit to ABCs, and I think they see here that we don't really have ABCs hit on the ban list at all, and they're still like just power crept, and they're just not as good. Obviously, Calvin Tahan would argue you on that, but yeah, I don't know. I think this is nice. It's just a deck that didn't really need the hits, and now it's free, which is good. And then Solemn Warning, another crazy card going to 3. I mean, to be fair, in the OCG, Solemn Warning was only at 2, so it's like they just go from 2 to 3. We would go from 1 to 3 if we got that here. I would love to see Solemns get like a little wider. Like I like 2/2/2, and that was cool because like nobody's gonna play 9 Solemns. Like no deck. Like that's just too many. You're just playing like bricks at that point. If you ever have to go second, if you ever lose the die roll and go second, like your hand's just terrible. But I think 6 is a solid number because 6 is like that number where like you're trying to see 1 every duel, at least, and that works. So Solemn Warning free at last, which is pretty interesting. I don't know. I mean, it's not a crazy list. There's nothing to. I think Fairy Tale Snow is a little crazy, but other than that, like nothing. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Those are the only two. Like whoa, that's okay. Kind of hits. Everything else is kind of like makes sense. Stuff that like didn't really need to be on the list came off, and stuff that needed a little hit got the little hit, and yeah, that's where we're at now. So guys, let me know if you like this list. Let me know if you'd like to see this in our TCG. Everything on here. If Darkness Metal Dragon got banned, we already have Armageddon Knight at 1, Terror Type at 1, Raigeki at 1. If we got Dynamite to 2, Toad go down to 2, a Hero Lives back, we have that completely banned, right? Oh no, we have 1. I think we only have 1 right now. That would help Hero decks a lot. I don't know. Denglong, I know a lot of people would be pumped about Denglong. And nothing crazy. I don't know. I just want to get this out there though, because a lot of the stuff on the OCG kind of is seen as like the future of the TCG. So we'll see where our list looks like in the upcoming months when we do get that. But I'm gonna leave it there to for you guys to mull it over. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more news videos as they come, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because I'm staying up on the news. And thank you for watching. Peace.